When Football Manager 2023 was announced, they also announced it would be coming to PlayStation, to the home console for the first time. Now, of course, we used to get LMA Manager, Player Manager, lots of other management games on PlayStation, but there's not been any for quite some time. There was also a Vita version, but that was very, very buggy and a story for another time. But they announced that the game was coming to PlayStation as part of the new FM23 console edition. Now, of course, they've been releasing on Xbox and on Xbox Game Pass the last few years. You can play it on day one on Xbox Game Pass. They also had Stadia versions in the works, and they had a Switch version as well. And these are pretty similar to the old touch version of the game. It's now called FM23 console on Xbox and on PlayStation, but it was due to come out tonight, 8th of November. The game would have been out on PlayStation and on Xbox at midnight, but just the other day, Sports Interactive put out a post explaining the game had to be delayed due to unforeseen circumstances in the submissions and approval process. So Miles Jacobson, who is the studio director at Sports Interactive, said, "We're devastated by this outcome, which we have worked tirelessly with our partners for a number of weeks to try to address. It was especially difficult to make the decision to delay, as it involves holding back a great game which a talented number of people within Sports Interactive have worked tremendously hard on for quite some time. We will continue to do everything in our power to get this game into the hands of PS5 gamers as soon as we can." It goes on to say that Sega and Sports Interactive will update at the earliest opportunity. But what's interesting here is they refunded everyone on PlayStation their pre-orders. They were all cancelled and given the money back. So if you pre-ordered on PlayStation, you should have the money back in your PlayStation wallet. I don't know if it goes back on your card or not. That's something you have to take up with Sony, unfortunately, and they are not known to be particularly helpful with this kind of thing. But that leaves a big question over when this will be resolved and why there's an issue in the first place. Well, the submissions and approval process probably covers quite a lot of different things. It covers things to do with licensing, it covers things to do with the game's age rating, it will cover things to do with the code in the game. So if there's a backdoor in the game into the PlayStation inner workings, and these have been problems for consoles for many, many years, then that can cause complications for the developers getting the games out. And I mean, if the developers do get it through and someone finds that exploit later on, it could be a big problem for the console manufacturers. Now, as to why this is a problem on PlayStation and not on Xbox or other platforms is unclear. Perhaps Sony's guidelines are more stringent, or perhaps there's other issues to do with licensing, particularly around the Champions League and things like that, because also don't forget, Sony has been a long time Champions League partner as well. So if you were expecting the version on PlayStation, you'll have to wait a little bit longer. It is out on Xbox Game Pass tonight. If you have an Xbox, you can also play the Xbox Game Pass version on PC or also in the cloud. That's something interesting to give a go. Now, Miles has said in the past the reason they weren't able to develop PlayStation versions is because Sony never gave them a dev kit and Microsoft did. Now, obviously, they have a dev kit, they're able to produce the version, so Sony must be keen to get the game on the platform. So let me know down below, were you also keen to get the game on the platform? Were you looking forward to the PlayStation 5 version? Are you upset by this news? Let me know in the comments. I'm obviously going to be playing a lot more Football Manager over the next few weeks. There'll be lots of videos here on the channel. If you want some ideas for saves, especially if you finally get that PlayStation version, why not check out this video I did on saves in Italy you could try out.